Yo, that's right. What's up, everybody? Welcome, Monday, motherfuckers. Monday. That reminds me of Pat Schultz. Pat Schultz from Boston. Pat Schultz, who was on the Ultimate Fighter 7 with me, Team Rampage versus Team Forest. And Pat Schultz used to walk around the fighter house saying, Monday. Evidently, due to some local regional um, television ad from his era. So by the time the 6 weeks were over, the eight of us in the house with Pat Schultz were all saying Monday. Now, 10 years later, after leaving the house, I still think of that and say that, which is very interesting. But the topic of today is the best rep ranges for muscle growth. I had that question earlier this morning. What's the best rep range for maximum muscle growth? And that topic cannot be answered with just one statement. And you know, I never give just one statement. The best rep range for muscle growth has to be broken down to determine what type of muscles are we growing, what shape are we trying to grow them to, what's the reason for growing these muscle, is there a sports performance need to grow this muscle, are we talking about total body mass or specific one individual specific muscle or region, what type of energy system, and this is the big part, and I'll just jump to this, it's the type of the energy system that is working the muscle. We need to be focused on not just training the muscle but also training the energy systems that fuel the muscle, because the energy systems are actually more important. The gas in your car, you have a Lamborghini, you have no gas, your car goes nowhere. It potentially has this ability, but there's no gas, so it goes nowhere. How are we fueling the muscle? What energy systems are we using? And that can be best accomplished for the 80-90% of you listening right now, outside the more niche goal set or performance needs or individual genetic makeup, if you will. We're all slightly different. Some of us are kind of on the outside of the spectrum. But for 80-90% of you, this basic system I'm going to break down in the next 3 minutes will be ideal. Male or female, athlete or layperson, just wants to look good, be healthy, walk upstairs, carry groceries, fit into bikinis, compete in UFC world title fights. It all works pretty well. And I'm speaking of specific strength training here. All right. I'm not talking about skill specific training. I'm not talking about body weight conditioning, movement training, gymnastic style of training, street workout style of training. That's different altogether. Different when you're moving just your body, essentially just your body mass through multiple planes. The rep range changes considerably. When you're using resistance, we can actually add additional load to ensure 4 reps completely exhausts you. Where if it was body weight, maybe 400 reps before you're pseudo exhausted. And that's a different energy system altogether. But for the terms of, or this, the purpose of weight training, strength training, the topic of this video, the best rep range to build muscle, we break it down essentially to the 4 to 6 range, 4 to 6 repetitions, what we call straight eights, or 10 to 15. Now, when you're training in that 4 to 6 range, could be 3 for some. I like to say 4 just to get that extra rep and keep the weight ever so slightly lighter. 3 repetitions is much closer to 1 repetition than as far as absolute strength. It's slightly skews, but 4 is just a little bit better. 4 to 6 being the top end. I'll break down the rep ranges. 6 being the top end. Once you can perform 6 all out repetitions at an RPE of 9 or above, rate of perceived exhaustion, it's just one way to kind of mentally understand how you can move your weight. You can change your intensity or the percentage. So what you do is, once you can hit 6 perfect reps, or even in all these sets, all these different rep ranges, 4 to 6 straight eights and 10s to 15, 10 to 15s, once you get to that last rep has to be biomechanically correct, right? We're not cheating. We don't cheat any of these reps. We here at the Dolce Diet and Fitness do not believe in cheating, even though I've cheated way up before hefting. That doesn't make sense, and we have the data to show that. We train until technical breakdown, not total muscular failure, and then you up the weight at that point. It's a safer, it's a more efficient way to train, and you build strength through greater curves, through the proper strength curves more readily. Plus, you're in the gym more often because now you're not hurt, you're not prone to injury as much with the cheating, and then the ensuing soft tissue damage that likely occurs, and also central nervous system repression kicks in when we go to that absolute failure. Now, maybe 10% of you or so, that's fine because you're advanced athletes and you know how to do that properly. Most people, no, not even worth it. Technical breakdown is important, even on the heavy lifts, the power lifts, even more important on the heavy lifts. That said, wifey. Hello. It's what is it? Dropbox link to you. All right, I'm doing a podcast right now. We're live. Everybody's watching me talk to you live. Oh boy. All right, bye. Always answer the phone when the wife calls, when the family calls. That's the pro tip right there. Listen to Uncle Mike here. You always answer the phone when the significant other calls, no matter what's happening. No matter what's happening, you answer the phone. So back to the 4 to 6s, 4 to 6s, straight eights, or 10 to 15. You're training different muscle fiber type within reason. And nothing here, nothing I say is absolute. So there's nothing absolute. There's nothing absolute. Nothing's in the vacuum, especially with the body. So what we can do is we can just facilitate situations, stimuli with which there's a known adaptation towards it. Now, each of us will have an individual response to that type of adaptation. Very few, but some people will have none. The outliers, as I said earlier. But these are the guaranteed rep ranges to get as big and strong and healthy and fit and lean and round and shapely and energized as possible. 4 to 6 repetitions, straight eights, which means every set is at 8 repetitions. Every set's at 8 repetitions. That's a grinder. That's probably the hardest one. It's that transfer where it's very glycolytic. You're using a lot of stored glycogen, which is, in our opinion, very important to have specifically with that type of routine and have that type of energy system available for that type of physical exertion as a human being. Sometimes we have to do that. Shit, I worked as a landscaper. I worked as a throwing recycled papers onto a Mack truck all day long, all day long. So you can think about real life applications. But anyway, 4 to 6 is super heavyweight. You should be training upwards of 80% of your 1 rep max, probably even some of you close to that 90% of 1 rep technical max, not 1 rep absolute max. Your technical max is probably 3 to 7% below what your absolute max is, and that's a lot. Once you get up to the 300, 400, 500 pounds, that becomes a lot. What, 7% at 300 pounds, 21 pounds? That's a big move on an absolute outburst. Um, so 4 to 6 repetitions, straight eights, and then 10 to 15. 10 to 15 is even higher in a good way, where the weight's pretty light. Weight that you can do for 10 to 15 reps is pretty light. It's not as challenging. It doesn't excite the nervous system quite as much, but you can build a really good fatigue set. You can really train deep into the energy systems and deep into the contractile ability of those muscles through a full clean range. It's important also to develop that type of strength. Again, technically proficient, technical breakdown is what we're talking about. Does that help? I think that helps. Hopefully that helps. I'm not making it too complex for you guys. 4 to 6 rep range, and I go through maybe 3 to 6 weeks at 4 to 6s, 3 to 6 weeks at probably only 3 weeks at straight eights, depending, because that's more intense for sure. And then 3 to 6 weeks at the 12 to 15s. Find what suits you, but you have to be proficient in all. I used to gravitate to 4 to 6s for years and years and years. Now I'm more in the straight eights right now, which is an ass kicker, but I'm enjoying that quite a bit. But I still will cycle back into a 4 to 6 for at least 3 weeks or so every quarter, and then the 12 to 15 sneak in as usually sometimes deload weeks or two in between different systems. but that's just me. That's just my way, my style. You guys can be much more structured with the way you break it out, or you can go by competition, go by performance, go by goal set. Paul Thompson, what's up, Paul? Doctor? No, I am not a doctor. What do you mean, Paul? What's up, Dolce? Is it better to eat my meals cold at work if my only option is a microwave? That's what I do. All I do is I take my meal out like an hour before I'm going to eat it from the fridge, and it's room temperature by the time I eat it, and it's perfect. I don't need to throw it into the microwave. Um, Hey, Mike Helms, Dolce, I clicked on one of your videos the other day and there was an ad to people who claim to be trainers saying you shouldn't eat fruit. No wonder no one else knows how to diet. I know. I know. How sad is that? How sad is that? You shouldn't eat fruit. Are you crazy? What are they selling? What are they selling? That's what I always go back to. What are they selling? What am I selling? I'm selling education. That's all we're selling here. We're selling the idea that you guys need to figure it out for yourself. And here's what we've learned. This is what I'm selling. I'm selling not only am I selling content because this is free. What we're trying to do is we just try and teach you guys and help you see what we've seen through 30 years as a professional, 20 plus years as a working in industry professional with elite athletes. Just sharing what we've seen. So that's what we're quote selling. When we say blueberries are good for you, it's not because I make money off of blueberries. When I say, yeah, you should be eating quinoa and beans and legumes and lots of dark leafy greens and deep dark colored vegetables. You should be having nuts and seeds and wild caught animal proteins if that suits your ethical philosophical stance. We can have another option if not. Stay away from supplements and synthetic chemicals, processed foods. That's what we quote sell. Drink more water. Stop drinking these zero cal, low cal, processed whole food replacement things. It makes no sense. You're getting synthetic chemicals to replace the whole food that they're telling you shouldn't be eating. Don't eat the whole food. Eat the synthetic chemical that gives you all the nutrition that you would have got from eating the whole fucking food. That's what we tell you. We tell you to open your mind a little bit and think about that. Eat real food. You don't have to buy anything from me. Just listen, eat real food in wide variety, as fresh and natural and local to the point of consumption as possible. Eat until you're satisfied, not until you're full. Eat based upon activity. What did I just do? What do I need to repair from? What am I about to do in the next 2 to 4 hours? About how much fuel, clean, burning, delicious, tasty, real food fuel do I need? Without being a glutton, but enjoying myself, eating till satisfied, not eating till starving, eating till satisfied, but not until full, not Thanksgiving Day. And I know many of you, because I speak with thousands of you every year personally, many of you, man, you eat dinner, you probably eat more calories between when you finish dinner and you go to bed because the binge begins and the creams and the sauces and the dressing and the dipping and the scooping and the crunching and the cracking and the savoring and then the little bit of wine or alcohol or whatever on the side. Right? Is that you? We teach you not to do that shit. Right? Just start respecting your body. Stop poisoning your body. That's what we teach you. So yeah, you got these super fit fitness dudes. Hey, I'm a personal trainer. I've seen that only taking this fake synthetic exogenous chemical is going to help you get in shape. That's what these motherfuckers are saying. Obviously, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They shouldn't be trainers if that's what they're telling you to do. If a trainer, a private trainer, a fitness expert is telling you that you need to take exogenous synthetic chemicals in order to be healthy, fire that motherfucker. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about, right? Just does that make sense? If you get someone who says that they're a professional health and fitness trainer and they start trying to sell you, put you onto synthetic chemicals to quote be healthy, they obviously don't know what they're talking about. Right? Admit that, embrace that, learn that. Just make that your credo. I don't care who you listen to. But if that's the way they're talking, if they're steering you away from real food, then they're fired. They don't know what they're talking. I don't care what their acronyms is next to their name. PhD and MD and RD and MS and whatever, CPT, CSCS, doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter. If that's what they're saying. And there's many out there. There's many out there, guys. You know that. Many out there that are preaching this fucking lame bullshit. I should have made this whole video about that topic right there, right? So anyway, who else we got? Excuse me, coffee. Pit stop for coffee. Tracy, what's up, Coach Tracy? Hello. Lil Pun, day 2 on 3 weeks to Shredded and goddamn feeling like a rhino, Mike. 3 weeks to Shredded, the most successful healthy weight loss program ever devised. Ever devised, ever devised. You can go to thedolcediet.com and check it out. What this teaches you how to live your life, how to make your meals, how to combine your meals, about what times per day to eat. If you go through the first 4 weeks of 3 weeks to Shredded at thedolcediet.com, you will likely be on your way to your best shape ever. Many people lose between 10 and 20 pounds during that period of time. During the first 3 weeks, you get a fourth bonus week. More importantly than that, we use 3 weeks to Shredded. This is the secret here, guys. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to pull back the curtain. This is the secret. We use 3 weeks to Shredded as the Trojan horse. We use 3 weeks to Shredded as the means to an end. And that end is teaching you how to eat for the rest of your life. What food you can and should eat that will make you feel amazing, about how much of each should you eat at one given time, one should you combine together, and which one should you avoid, about how often should you eat, whether it's a busy day or a sleep on the couch day. How much food can I eat to lose the maximum amount of non-functional weight while still being energized and building lean muscle tissue, getting better and stronger and more fit and hopefully better looking, better, fuller, brighter hair and eyes and improved skin, much increased bowel movements, which is the amazing thing many people understand. So Lil Pun is on day 2 of 3 weeks to Shredded, and he's goddamn feeling like a rhino, Mike. Now he's feeling like a rhino. He's feeling awesome. And that's the beauty of it. That's where you see the Trojan horse immediately. From the first meal, you feel better. You're like, holy fuck, I feel great. That food was delicious and it was so easy to make. I can't believe I'm eating this much food that tastes this good and I'm fucking losing weight. I wish I had done this years ago. I wish I've been doing this. How would I look right now if I did this for last fucking summer? Holy shit, I feel awesome. That's what 3 weeks to Shredded does. A little pun is just one of probably the many that might stream through here that have very similar results. And that's awesome. That's what we put out there for you guys. Howard, hey coach, what is the purpose and importance of uva ursi, dandelion root, and vitamin C in 3 weeks of Shredded? So what those are options for those who well tolerate them and choose to use them. Uva ursi, dandelion root, and vitamin C have a very mild but noted diuretic response, specifically for the last week when you're trying to tighten up and just dry out and just be at your best. What uva ursi, dandelion root, and vitamin C do is they allow the body to lose that little bit of extra water. We find it's usually between 1 to 3 pounds. 1 to 3 pounds our athletes can lose during a 5 day period. Yeah, 5 day. I was going to say maybe three, but no, 5 day period. Um, by just adding those to their normal protocol. What does that do? That means our athletes and you don't have to cut weight as much to actually cut weight as much. You don't have to get into the tub or the sauna. Ours never get into the sauna or do a workout or stretch in hot, in a hot suit with the heat up high. You don't have to do that. So that's what it does. Also, vitamin C is immune enhancing. And a lot of times, and this is important, and that vitamin C assists in collagen production. So it comes from the world of our athletes. And our athletes are constantly drinking teas throughout. And as you guys are, green tea and black tea and chamomile tea and peppermint tea, dandelion tea. We do drink dandelion tea. And you certainly can with the dandelion and uva ursi, though I've only seen the uva ursi bags. I've never actually seen the true dandelion roots. You can actually get dandelion roots, and we put those in our smoothies instead of popping the capsules. We only get the capsules and the powders when we have to. Steve O, what's up, my friend? Good to see you, man. Long time, long time. Vitor, hey Dolce, what's up? What's your opinion on strength and conditioning workouts like athletes do for regular people? I think it's the best ever. All quote regular people should train like athletes. That's our motto here at the Dolce Diet and Fitness. Train like an athlete. Everybody who walks in trains like an athlete. You're pregnant, you're training like an athlete. You just had your baby, you're training like an athlete. You're just getting off your walker, grandma, you're training like an athlete. Oh, you're getting ready for a UFC world title fight. Yep, you're training like an athlete. You're a super smoking hot server down on the strip. You're training like an athlete. You train like an athlete. Period. The end. If you're a bodybuilder, bodybuilders are athletes, but they don't compete in a sport. They compete in a pageant. Pageant just sounds feminine, but it's not. It's just a type of event. It's a different type of subjective competition. I'm going to do a video on that and talk about that. Probably, hopefully, get Nick Trigili on here to have the conversation. Um, but as a bodybuilder, it's bodybuilders, they can't train like an athlete because then they'll look like an athlete. And bodybuilders aren't trying to look like traditional sports athletes, whether it's fighters or soccer players or tennis players or basketball players, that type of lean, sinewy type of fit, compact physique. Bodybuilders are just trying to outgrow the humanity. So they can train different. Physique athletes can train different, though they should always keep athletic training in there just so they can stay healthy and pliable and mobile and not lose their core. Uh, do you have a substitution for oats? I just lost it. In the breakfast bowl, oats bother my stomach. How about cream of rice? Absolutely. Cream of rice is good. Buckwheat's good. Quinoa flakes, we use those quite a bit. So try any of those. David Keller, hey, Mike, rep range for 45-year-old good shape looking to gain muscle. What I said earlier, David, the 4 to 6s, straight 8s, and the 12 to 15s. You, like me, will probably do better more in the straight 8s and the 10 to 15s, and then just have a little touch of the 4 to 6s, maybe 3 weeks every 3-4 months or so. Ideal. You don't need to be banging the big heavyweights at this point, but straight 8s, man, straight 8s start off super light at 30-40% of what your true 1 rep max is. Like if you can bench press 200 pounds, maybe, shit, I would start with 50 pounds, 60 pounds, and just run through, and just add maybe 10 pounds each time I do it. Hey, coach, made the champion chili for the first time yesterday. Amazing taste, so easy to make and cheap to purchase all the ingredients. David, that's the truth, right? Champion chili, so easy, so inexpensive, so fucking delicious, and lasts so long. Brandy and I are still eating. We put ours in the crock pot. Champion chili in the crock pot, slow cooked. Holy fudge. Steve-O, been eating a bunch of fresh cherries with my breakfast bowl. I love it. That's awesome, my man. Hey, Mike, would it be an issue to go on 3 weeks of shredded straight from a low carb diet? I would assume you will feel amazing when you do. I would assume you might actually lose more non-functional weight than when you were on the super low carb. You might gain muscle tissue. You might start hitting PRs in your strength training and feel better all around once you reintroduce the proper healthy carbohydrates. That 3 weeks to shredded will offer you. That is the most honest yet PC delivery. Yeah, yeah. Do you think it's better to do reps or time-based sets? Well, reps are time-based, right? We know about how long it's going to take us to do 8 reps or 10 to 15 reps. Um, so it's all about the same. It's just the way that you calculate, you measure. Coffee. Josh Stanziger, Dr. Dolce. I'm not a doctor. Uncle Mike, I take that. I love 5x5, but I got to throw in more volume from time to time, especially with isolation movements. What's your opinion on bro splits? I'm not a fan, but fall into those traps sometimes. Josh, I hear it. That's why I like the 4-day push pull also, and that is at thedolcediet.com if you choose the strength building program. Um, You'll sorry. Let me back up. So the 4-day, and you like doing the bro splits, you do the 5x5. So that's where you hit the push pull. Mondays and Thursdays lower body, Tuesdays and Fridays upper body. Mondays and Thursdays pull, Tuesdays and Fridays push. All muscle groups, doesn't matter. Break it up the way you want to, and even cycle it every 3 to 6 weeks if you'd like to. The different type of exercise selection. That being said, now you're in the gym 4 days, and it does give you more time to finish with ancillaries. So when you're in the 4 to 6s, and that's what you say, you 5x5, and 5x5 is right about the 4 to 6 range. That's what we say. Because on the 5x5, sometimes you miss and you hit 4, sometimes you excel and you hit 6. That's why we say 4 to 6. It makes it a little cleaner. With that, you do need to jump into the 8s. You want to build muscle tissue, jump into the 8s. And there's different thoughts. Some people think that if you're training in the low rep range, you must stay in the low rep range and do no ancillary higher rep training. Other people think that you must. The true answer is both. It's both. Do them both. Try them both ways. Clean form, though, that's always key. Joe C. Mom, 6'1", 200 pounds. I was diagnosed with sleep apnea a couple years ago. My doctor keeps telling me to lose weight. I'm around 15% body fat. Do you think I should lose more weight? Well, I think you should listen to your doctor 100%. And I wouldn't disagree with your doctor. You're at 15% body fat. We like to be at least below 14% body fat as a step one. And step two is living between 10 to 12% body fat for the average healthy adult. Not knowing your personal circumstance, I could not say specifically, other than you must listen to your doctor and follow their care. You can also consider working with a registered dietitian who will work in conjunction with your doctor based upon your medical diagnosis, any prescription medicine that you might be taking, to ensure there are no contradictions with the nutrition program that they will prescribe for you. So we have a team of registered dietitians here on staff. You can simply go to dolcedietshop.com and join the one-on-one consultation. Maybe that's what you want to do and have a 30-minute talk with one of our RDs. Or you could do the 8-week My Diet program. Well, they become your personal dietitian for 8 weeks, building you every meal every day with constant feedback and support to ensure you have the ideal meal plan. Usually within 8 weeks, she's taught you everything you need to know. You're nice and dialed in. Hopefully, your doctor has opened up your lifestyle for you a little bit, or is very supportive of the current. And go from there. That's my strong recommendation. Listen to your doctor, work with an RD, and hammer it, man. Get it done. Don't fuck around. Mike Helms. Hey, Mike, just signed up for 3 weeks of Shredded. Is there an app to download? There's not an app, but it's accessible on your mobile, on your tablet, on your laptop. You just pull up your profile and it's all ready for you. We are working on an app right now. I'm very happy to say that we will be relaunching soon, and it's completely for free for the members of our site at thedolcediet.com. So it will be a massive value add for you guys, and there's going to be lots of new fun features in there too. That will be free to members at thedolcediet.com. And I believe there will be an abbreviated version in the App Store. However, the App Store typically works. That's just convoluted process. The business of the App Store. Jesus, some of you people know what I'm talking about. What do you mean, you people? I mean, you people at the other end of my screen. But the App Stores is just a mess to deal with sometimes, but it has such wide reach that it can be. So we just want to make it available for free to our users. Boom, done deal. And then just try and get it out to as many people as we can after that. What's your opinion on these sucralose stevia sweetener pills for coffee, tea? Good or bad? Bad. Look. You see? Can you see that? You can't quite see that without me spilling. Black coffee, man. Black coffee. Black coffee. Come on. Just drink your coffee black. Why not? Why not? If you need it frothy, spin a little bit of coconut oil in there. A little bit of coconut oil. And go crazy with it. All right, what's the big deal? Those who I need it. I need sugar. I just can't taste it. It's gross. I'm a grown adult and I can't eat the food because it's gross. Yeah, those people, man, those people drive me nuts. I always say, you can't eat it or you won't eat it. And they're like, well, I just don't really like it. I'm like, ugh, shut up. Like, if you have a medical issue or an allergy, a diagnosed allergy, for sure, there's alternatives. But if you're just complaining, I don't like it. Dude, you're an adult. What the fuck are you even talking about? So if you ever say that to me, just know in my head, I'm looking at you like, what the fuck, pod person? What the fuck? Hey, down here on reality, hello, here, here. Can we share reality for a moment, please? What do you mean won't? You won't drink water? Like water makes you sick? No, I'm pretty sure water will not make you sick. Maybe there's I'm sure that there's a handful of outliers on the planet that water somehow makes them sick, so they have to have like an intravenous or live in a distilled evaporated room or something like that to absorb it subcutaneously. But water doesn't make you sick. Food doesn't make you sick. Real food doesn't make you sick. You're choosing. It's a won't. It's a won't. Um, What's your thoughts on and everybody? If you appreciate what I'm talking about right now, you just give us a thumbs up. I appreciate the thumbs up. I appreciate if you like the content that I'm giving you or the free time that I'm sharing with you, which I do enjoy this. Just give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're here. You care. Let YouTube know that you actually care about this content. Chris, what do you recommend as a natural testosterone booster? Recommend sleep. I recommend stress management before anything else. no tribulus and no DHEA and no secretagogues and no whatever fucking andros. That's not exactly a boosting, that's actually reducing. But what my suggestion is fucking start sleeping. Get a good night's sleep. Get a lot of good night's sleeps. Manage your stress, because if you're stressed out and if you're not getting ample sleep, if you're not recuperating, you can't take, unless you're taking exogenous sources of testosterone, unless you're going to a doctor and getting testosterone, and that's not the first step. The first step is just look at your life. Huh. Okay, let me get more sleep. I'm only sleeping like 6, 7 hours a night. Fuck. All right. Let me try and get that to 7.5, 8 hours a night every night. Let me start going to bed at a fixed time every night, not being a little boy or a little girl. Let me just go to bed 10 o'clock. I'm in bed at 10 o'clock. I don't fucking care. I'm in bed at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, I'm in bed. I'm asleep by 10:30, and I'm up at 6:30, motherfucker. I'm ready to go. I don't have to be to work until 8. I'm not waking up at 7:30 anymore, scrambling, stressed out, right? Now you're not getting ample sleep and you're fucking stressed out. You're not going to have ample testosterone. No, so you start there, and then we'll talk. Dolce time. Hell yeah, Jason. Any significant difference between raisins, golden raisins, and currants? Are they interchangeable? They are interchangeable, and that is a part of our philosophy also. We want a wide variety of earth grown foods within category. Within category is exactly what you just said. I don't want to just eat the same grapes, the same grapes, the same grapes, the same grapes, the same broccoli, the same broccoli, the same broccoli, same broccoli. No, fuck that. Every time we go to the grocery store, we're looking to get a completely different cart of the same colored shit. That's one way to look at it. Like broccoli and asparagus and Brussels sprouts and kale and spinach and chard and arugula and bean sprouts and green beans and the story goes on. I'm looking to get, and typically those are what, 9 right there. I'm sure I could go on if I'm standing, in the store. We look to get 3 to 4 of those at least every time we go to the grocery store twice a week. Then we look to get like 2 or 3 like red orange ones, 2 or 3 like blue purple ones, 2 or 3 like off colored ones. So we usually get home with 12 to 20, fairly 12 to 20 different new fresh produce items. Um, and that's so we can be eating, just like you're saying with the currants. The same thing with like fruit, apples and pears and nectarines and peaches and plums and kiwi and mango. Um, we have the blueberries and strawberries and blackberries and cherries and raisins and currants and what are the other ones that we were eating recently? I forget the name. We have a massive pomegranate tree in our backyard and a fig tree in our backyard. We have a Japanese nectarine tree, a Japanese pear tree in our yard. So it's just this constant mix. That's what you guys need to be doing. Just do that. Just I don't like it. Fuck. Like, you don't like sex? Is that what you're saying? I don't like taking off my pants. Therefore, I'm not going to engage in consensual intercourse. That's basically what you're saying. Like, it's the most silly thing ever. Don't be a pod person. Zach C, what's a good goal for my squats? Trying to improve my chicken legs on 12-week program and only um sorry guys. Sometimes it jumps, the screen jumps, and then I have to go through and find you. What's a good goal to improve my squats? All right, just 7 and 155. Currently rep 154 sets of 8. I use 85-pound dumbbell for dumbbell presses and 55-pound for shoulder presses. Yeah, so it sounds like your squat is a little bit low below. If you're doing 85-pound dumbbell presses but only squatting 155 pounds or 150, that's your body weight. So that's good. So you hit goal number 1. Here's goal number 1. Let me help you guys and girls. Squatting your body weight, you have to be able to squat your body weight in order to leave the novice phase of training. Like, the way we break down our system, in a bunch of different ways. Step 1, the wife is silly. What was I saying? Damn it. Oh yeah, here we go. Sorry guys and girls. Real time. This is what happens when we're live. In our facility, if you can't body weight squat 100 unbroken reps, you're not allowed to use weight. You're not allowed to use weight unless you can perform 100 body weight squats with perfect form, biomechanically correct, nice, clean, injury free form, we're not adding load, we're not adding resistance at all. At all. And usually, once you can finally hit 100 body, and that happens quick, actually. Once you have a coach teaching you how your posture, your breathing pattern, tracking of your knees, your foot width, angle of your foot, engaging different muscle groups at the same time, breathing, energy systems, right? Once you have a coach teaching you through, 1 to 3 of those sessions, you go from like 3 bodyweight squats to 30 to 100, like that. From there, we then scale you into, slightly more complex movements, goblet squats, different versions of maybe step ups and lunges or modified lunges. And then we'll start scaling you into more traditional squatting. So if you can't do 100 bodyweight squats, just cycle back and do that first. Build up your base. Then to exit beginner, right? Is it beginner exit? Because that would be novice. A novice is exit level novice is the ability to do that at the very least. Plus 100 nonstop push-ups, plus 20 dead hang chin-ups. That's the hard one. We allow for 10 for some people because limb length matters, but it's we're shooting for 15 or so solid, 10 to 20, and 20 is on a case by case basis. If you can do 15, you're through, but 20 is the goal. And we've had properly perfect form, clean form squat your body weight, and we use a depth slightly lower than powerlifting legal because we're thinking more as athletes in athletic range of motion, not just hip hip angle with relation to knee. We're trying to get just a little bit deeper and lower, depending on the person. To leave intermediate, you have to be able to double body weight squat. Is it double body weight squat, 2.25 deadlift, which matters. So, you have to be able to 2.25 deadlift. And what was the overhead press? I forget what the overhead press is now, entry or exit level, intermediate. And then when you get into advanced, things change dramatically. I hope that helps to give you some overview. You need to kind of scale your way through. Otherwise, you don't have the necessary strength to really hit your other goals. We're talking about base level strength there. Dolce answered that. Answered that. Great advice, brother Vito. I appreciate that. David Weinstein, crockpot boom. Next time, even easier. It's next level stuff. David Vitor. Sorry to bother again, but want to know your opinion on circuit workout with bodyweight exercise and kettlebell. I think it's awesome. Do that. I love it. I do something very similar from time to time. I love it. Also, what's your opinion on our fat, whole food, plant-based diet? I got no problem with it. Depends on your goal, though. What's your goal? That's what matters. What's your goal? There is lots of good health benefit to it. Thanks. That's all I drink. My girl insists in drinking the pills. Viewing, I get it. We're talking about the teas. Abdullah, hello. Zach C. I want to start training out of my home garage and gym and plan to get the DDC along with a personal training cert. Any advice on how to promote and any recommendations with certification to get? Zach C. First steps first, my man. Live it. Live the lifestyle. Be the most fit person in every room you walk into. Then pursue your education and certification. You can certainly come out and get certified with us. Become a Dolce Diet certified coach. Our next event is July 6th, 7th, and 8th here in Las Vegas. Sold out. Excited about that. You can look for one of those events, but also get a nationally recognized CPT, Certified Personal Trainer Certificate. The NSCA has a great one. NASM, NASM has a great one. ACE has a great one. AFAA has a great one. ISSA may still have a great one. Those are places to look. I do the Dolce 10-minute morning workout every day. Is it okay to keep it with 3 times per week evening heavyweight? Absolutely, Steven. That's what I do very much. Get up, hit that body motion, but make sure you do the 5 minutes of visualization and the 5 minutes of goal setting afterwards. Abdullah, there might be a glitch on your computer, man. I have to pull that. There we go. Stop spamming. I thought that's how you'd answer my question about raisins. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, what's with this spam? Why do people spam? Hey, Mike, if one can only work out at 7 a.m., how would you advise breakfast and protein shake to be taken in the morning? Well, if you can only work out, what type of workout will it be? Will it be a low intensity workout or a high intensity workout? If it's a low intensity workout, I suggest fasting. I suggest waking up, walking out your door, and walking for 30 to 60 minutes at a relatively low heartbeat. 110 per minute or so. 90 to 110, I think, is perfect for most healthy adults. If you need to train at a higher intensity, then I would suggest waking up slightly earlier and having some sort of food source. I would recommend making your breakfast bowl, cutting it in half, and blending it. You can just blend it that day. Blend your breakfast bowl and drink half about 30 to 90 minutes before that workout. 30 minutes will do you if it's blended because it will be almost pre-digested as a smoothie when you're consuming it. You will feel better. You will perform better like that. It's not ideal though. You know, first thing, high intensity training is usually very difficult because you haven't had food. Your system is not running properly. Your nervous system has yet to be truly excited. So it's your body's still warming up. I know a lot of people who roll out of bed, and they're gangsters and they hit these hard ass workouts, like 4 or 5 a.m. and then they go about their life. That's awesome. My only point is if they did that workout between 11 and 3, they'd hit bigger numbers, better PRs, but that's not why everybody does it. Mike, what are your thoughts on Ripeto's lifting methodologies? I think what Mark Ripito has is excellent. I think he's one of the godfathers of this strength mindset. A lot of what Ripito puts out there, I think is still has stood the test of time. Other things people confuse with fact are Ripeto's opinions, which are well vetted by a majority percentage of the population. Where the problem comes in with a guy like Mark Ripito, when he speaks with great confidence, and people assume that's an affront to their own opinions or experience. That's not what I, as a strength coach, have experienced. Listening to Ripito, he says it because he 100% believes it, as he should. And people take that as if he's attacking their style that they found to also be effective. My point is, there is not one absolute truth specifically in strength training. So, what Ripito has put out, by and large, is awesome. Has he thrown out any duds? I'm sure, because we all have. We all have. But I would say that he's thrown out less duds than the average human in their, profession or their skill set. So I like, and I shit, when we do our level 2 certification, every person who does our level 2 gets a copy of Starting Strength that we buy for them. We feel the book is that necessary that we actually give that book as part of the curriculum to our incoming coaches. What is your viewing says, what is your favorite workout out of the different types of training methods? Um, I like running stairs. Crazy is that? I like running stairs. I like the pain of it. Fuck, it's hard, right? It's so many come to Jesus points, like running stairs for time, not reps. Running stairs for time, that's the killer because it's a mind fuck. My high school wrestling coach was awesome. He was a good wrestler, excuse me, but he was a great motivator. He was a psychology major, and he was a writer, lit, psychology and lit. Very kind of cerebral guy, good wrestler in his own right, but he excelled on the mental side. So he would have us run after practice, after these brutal 2 hour, sometimes 3 hour brutal wrestling practices. He would then put us on the stairs, and we would have to run the stairs for any old period of time. Sometimes he wouldn't tell us, and it'd be 45 minutes. Sometimes he would tell us it'd be 15 minutes. It'd be like Planet of the, not Planet of the, Lord of the Flies. They're just these kids trying to like rip each other down the stairs because whoever like got the most reps, they didn't have to do probably the next punishment or reward, depending on the way you looked at it. So running stairs, for some reason, that always it was so hard, so difficult, but I'm drawn to it. When I travel, I stay in these hotels, and that's something that I do. Fortunately, because I, get to stay on the 20th, 30th floor. And I'm not sprinting, mind you. I'm not sprinting 20, 30 floors. So I'm not trying to say that, but I walk them dozens of times. I don't even know how many times, dozens of times, sometimes dozens of times in a single day. And what I do when I travel is I try and stay as high as I can, as high as they'll let me, and I take the stairs when I got to go places. So if I like, all right, we're leaving at 4 o'clock. I might leave my room at 3:40 because it's going to take me 15 minutes to walk down. Truly, some of these stairs to get all the way down to the bottom. Just helps me to be efficient, helps me to be on time. When I'm carrying my luggage and shit like that, I take the elevator. Duh. So people are like, oh, sure, Dolce. Like, what do you do with your luggage? You put that on your shoulders, dickhead. It's like, dude, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying here. Walk more often means I'm fucking carrying luggage upstairs on my fucking head. Crazy, crazy trolls. is it possible to drink too much water? Should I drink? It is possible to drink too much water. Should I drink more lemon water? It depends on you. I like adding some lemon to my water, but I add lemon to everything. I add lemon to my fish. I add lemon to my salads. Um, what else do I add it to? Anything else? I think that's it. There's one or two other recipes in there. Okay, Mike gives us into my smoothies. Give us a specific dud that you've put out there that you regret and you would take back if you could. Oh, that's a good one. Call me out. What is a dud? What is a dud? Let me think of it. I know my dud. My dud has been believing people will work as hard as I do for their benefit. That's my dud. I wasted many years, many man years, meaning many human years, not to trigger anybody, many human years pursuing lost causes of health and fitness and motivation, yes, personal happiness. Many years have I wasted. Many people, many people through my ins and outs. So that's a dud. The dud was the waste of time where I wasn't focusing that same amount of time, all those human years, on you guys, on people that will actually take the information. You show up on time and you will apply it. You will not be perfect, and that's fine. But we all work together on it. So that's one of the duds I could say. Bu- 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 bum. Okay, Mike, I did that one. That's a good foundation workout as well. Viewing, I agree. Holy crap. Haha. 45 minutes of stairs, I would be dead. I mean, it was crazy. That was high school, though. So you're 16, 17, 18 years old. At that stage, the body can do amazing things. I wouldn't do that now. No way. Not like that, but, running. Yeah. Yeah. When I have the opportunity to, I'll run short little stairs and not do the full long grinds. Sorry, Mike, I'm not walking from 54th floor in my hotel. Oh, Joey, that's funny. I found good results with 8 grams of citrulline pre workout. Interesting, Jay Z. We're testing that also. Dan Stapleton, the best diet is stir fry every day. Alley cat. Whoa, what does that mean? Or count. That's gross. You made me throw up a little bit in my mouth there, Dan. Thanks, buddy. All right, guys and girls, here on YouTube, you are great. Go back to listen to the beginning, the best rep ranges for muscle growth. Go listen to the first 9 minutes of this video if you want to hear me break down the best rep ranges to get bigger and stronger and more fit and more capable and more athletic and more energized and hopefully more laid consensually, of course, more appealing to the genders that find you appealing or that you wish to find you appealing. Um, Whoa, that's a lot of words, Dolce. Yeah, I know. So YouTube, you guys are awesome. Appreciate you all being here. Remember, you can go to thedolcediet.com right now, sign up for that 4-week or 12-week online membership program, the most successful healthy weight loss program ever devised, as proven by the world's greatest athletes with a 100% success ratio. What does that mean? The Dolce Diet has provided a 100% success ratio for over 20 years with the world's greatest athletes, never missing weight, never, ever not making weight under our care. And that's the fact. And that's the truth. And that's because the Dolce Diet is the most successful, healthy weight loss program ever devised. And guess what? Our athletes don't just have to step on the scale and look pretty. They have to fight. They have to fight. They have to compete at a world class level 24 hours later, the very next day. What does that mean? We cannot risk your health in the process. You must be energized. You must be stronger. You must be more fit. You must feel better. That's what the DolceDiet.com does. That's the point of it. That's why it's so successful. People think you have to be less healthy in order to look good. That's so silly. That's so stupid. You have to be more healthy to look better, to perform better, to appear better, to be better.